Minnesota fighting Vikings linebacker Cameron Smith announced this week that he's going to require open heart surgery to fix a valve that was enlarging his heart. Now, he only became aware of this condition after testing positive for COVID-19. So it's weird how the world works sometimes. But the Vikings yesterday made a procedural roster move to get Smith on the reserve list. This is what's said from the official transaction page. Quote, Waive linebacker Cam Smith with a failed physical designation per NFL procedures to move Cam Smith from the Vikings active roster to their reserve non-football injury list, NFI. The team must first subject him to waivers. Should he clear waivers, he will revert to the Vikings reserve NFI list. Now, I did like that they clarify that, because if they didn't, I mean, some people would be like, this guy needs heart surgery and you just cut him. The whole thing, right? But since it's not technically a football injury, they can't just plop him on IR, as well as he does have to pass through waivers since he's not a vested veteran. So he will be placed on the reserve list since team's probably not going to claim him. And then the Vikings reportedly are going to pay out his full salary that he was due this season, $675,000. And it really is just a really top-notch class move by a class organization. And also, what's important about him on reserve, rather than some teams would have carved out an injury settlement with a player in Smith's situation. But big difference is that he's on Vikings reserve as opposed to injury settlement, is that he stays on the Vikings health insurance plan. So he's going to get that bulk of that surgery covered, if not all of it, which is huge. And of course, that's something we can all relate to when we do have health issues, right? And also, the Vikings, they didn't need to pay here, right? But it's awesome and just speaks to the caliber of their organization that they did. Like I said, most teams could have reached an injury settlement, paid Smith a fraction, put him out on his own, be like, best of luck to you. And teams have done similar things to the past, as well as when you're talking about building team culture. Now we talk about how the Vikings, they have the locker room as well as the coaching staff as well as the support staff. I mean, they just get it. They just understand it. There's a reason why players will take a little bit less just to stay with this establishment, because they do believe in the team. They do believe in the culture, as well as players do know that, hey, if you perform well in the field, you're going to be taken care of. Now, this is a different thing. This is completely off the field, but also everyone in that building knows that that it is a business. But I mean, the team does have your back if and when life does get a little bit too real, just like it did here with Cameron Smith. And again, not every team does this, and you do see teams either trying to cut corners, having injury settlements with players with medical issues, as well as they go after players that retire. You could be a legendary team player, and then they go after you. If you retire, they'll try and get your signing bonus. It's just absolute chicken bleep. You look at the Lions. So Lions are poster children for this, because they had two absolute legends, probably the two best players in their franchise history. They retired early because they were sick of all the nickel and diming and the constant losing that the Lions had year in, year out. All right, so Barry Sanders, they went to arbitration. He had to pay back $5.5 million from his signing bonus when he abruptly retired in '99. Could you imagine that? You have your franchise's all-time great player, and then he retires because he's sick of losing for your stupid team. And then you're like, hey, we realize that you've earned us multiple billions of dollars through your electric play throughout the years, but we're gonna need that a little bit back. How endearing. As well as, it gets even worse. So with Megatron, after Megatron had been one of the best receivers in the game for a number of years, his body was beaten up. Also, he was sick and tired of losing. Also, probably playing with Matthew Stafford face. They went after Megatron for $1 million. $1 million. League wide, and even just down at the micro team level, $1 million is a fraction of a rounding error. But they went after their all-time great receiver over $1 million. I mean, it's just insane. And then there's just a myriad of other examples of teams being excessively cheap, players retiring, players having medical issues. It really is cutthroat. And frankly, the Vikings could have gone down that road with Cameron Smith, but I'm really glad that they didn't. And also, frankly, if you think about it, they wouldn't do it. I mean, the Vikings under the Wilfs have become an absolute first-class, absolute aces organization. And Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's the difference between an organization that's built for the long haul. They understand that it is a people first, people over some profits, and also which ones are just absolute chicken bleep show. There you go. So again, awesome news about Cameron Smith. Well wishes. Hopefully his surgery goes absolutely well and he resumes your career. Keep living the dream, bro. That's it. All right, so your thoughts. Vikings waiving Cam Smith. They're going to pay out his full salary. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Pull us on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.